It's Tuesday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Obiajulu.
Hi,
how are you doing? I love the beads.
Thank you. Wanted to look like my village people today.
How far?
Yeah, I'm good.
How was Valentine's yesterday?
Valentine was fine, but I'm not talking Valentine. Miriam is here to give us Valentine gist.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh,
So I'm very busy right now. I'm getting ready for my Creating Your Desired Reality Masterclass that is happening on the 27th. Thank you, girls. On the 27th of February. The course is just designed to help people who are tired of being in one level, people who feel like they have experienced a lot of negativity and they want to move out of there, people who still see themselves as a victim, but they're tired of it, because I want to open their eyes to see that they are co-creators with God. You can actually say, this is what I want, and work towards it, and have the right beliefs backing it up, and you would have it. Some of us have been able to come out of darkness into a place where I can say that I am happy, I am successful, even if it seems small to another person. That's my own design, and you can be that person for yourself. So registration is ongoing. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very, very good. I'm grateful to God for life. And
can I ask how was Valentine's today?
So Valentine yesterday, BC, myself, and Nima went out.
Yeah.
We were trying to drag you, but you had a busy. So for me, we really enjoyed. We waited for Nima to go and deliver rice and deliver gari before coming, but Nima finally showed up. But I think it was just cool that we were able to hang out, because if we didn't, I wouldn't have any other thing to do that day.
Same here.
You know. And then
I wish I hung out with you guys.
I went to my children's school and I got a bit of feedback that I did not like. And I thought I was going to feel bad, but I felt like, it's feedback. It's not it's okay. It's a feedback that we will now address.
Work on it.
Not that we will now start feeling bad that, oh, how did I not notice this thing was happening?
No.
Parents, when you get feedback, it's a feedback. You will now plan how you will
address it.
How you doing, Mario?
I'm good. I'm great.
So how was your weekend? We haven't seen you. We didn't see you yesterday.
Yeah, of course. We know the boat cruise was fantastic. It was fabulous. Yesterday was fine. But I spent many hours up last night because I was with a young man who was attempting suicide. I found his message. I don't know. I usually don't even read some of his messages on someone's page. And I went and I saw that he had already gotten sniper. And I was on the phone with him for a long time. Hopefully, I think by the time we finished talking until this morning, he seemed to be in a better place. And he's just a young boy with young people's issues. I don't know, young people, it's okay to struggle. It has happened to everybody, it's happening to everyone. I know that you're constantly, seeing different pictures and videos of people doing fantabulously well, and that is fine. That's their journey. But it's also normal to struggle before you get to where you are. You're so young, and you think it's over because you're going through life's journey. It's okay. I just could not imagine when I finally saw his picture, and I'm like, you're just a young child. This is what you have to go through to understand life, and then when you finally get to your own place of success, you will, you would even understand how to keep it and use it and help others.
Really shocking. I just hope that you're able to continue.
I hope so.
All right, so let's go straight into the papers. We can't take any more breaks. Start with The Nation. Abba Kyari for extradition to U.S. after the NDLEA probe. Osun APC primary, guns, boom, panic in Oshogbo. APC convention, sale of forms fails to begin. Excitement over new Olubadan. ASU grounds versus for 4 weeks. And why customs can't meet the 3.019 trillion naira target by CG.
There's a WAEC story at the end.
Yeah, 46.6 private candidates pass WASC.
Yes.
Go ahead, Abba Kyari.
Abba Kyari is everywhere, so we just get it out.
So we know that our nation has been agog with the arrest of, as they say, former Super Cup Abba Kyari. We had heard the story of how he was affiliated with the internet fraudster Hush Puppy. And then yesterday we saw a video and just reports on a sting operation by NDLEA indicting him in a illicit and illegal drug, business. He's been arrested by NDLEA, and it's also reported that he may also be extradited to the United States of America for the other crimes that he had committed with the internet fraudster. They said that this operation had happened, and the report sent four days before to the police, and they were dragging their feet to release him to the NDLEA. That it took the chairman of NDLEA to talk with the presidency, and the presidency insisted that he be handed over to the NDLEA. We hope that this will be properly investigated and prosecutions properly done. Yeah. And Nigerians will see.
All right, let's take a minute.
Yeah, so according to the West African Senior School Certificate Examination for private candidates 2021 second series, they reported that about 48.61 candidates who sat for the examination made 5 credits and above, especially in English and mathematics. And as they mentioned the results, they said this was a better performance compared to the other performances that they've been having. They said 25,008 of them, candidates represented 48.61% out of the 48.61. Then the other people, let me quickly get the detail here. Obtained credits above, okay. So out of that, they said 12,272%, 2,000 were male candidates, and 12,736,000 were female candidates in this category. Right. So they also mentioned that, you know, they've said that the requirements for registration, you must have your NIN, but they are saying this is not going to affect any candidate from getting into the examinations. They will take their time to get that. And also, people can go ahead and do their registrations for the upcoming examinations. There are some results that they are going to be seizing for a bit because they're investigating if there's an exam malpractice involved in it.
Want to take a story?
Yes, I want to take the custom. So the custom was speaking at the House of Representative Committee on Custom and Excise, and he explained why he will not be able to achieve the target of 3 trillion. You know, we're on a drive to raise funds as a government from every level to fund the huge deficit in our budget right now. So he's explaining that the reason he cannot, we can't hit that target of 3 trillion is because we have outdated laws, we have porous borders, and the government's current policy of exclusion of importers and asking them to source dollars by themselves would reduce produce coming into the country. And so these are the reasons, and many more, why he doesn't believe that they'll be able to hit the projected figure. More importantly is the porous borders, because people bring in things without having to pay custom officially.
Okay, we now quickly to the punch. Drug business, police tackle NDLEA, agency detains Abba Kyari for others. UN corporate FG, as Nigeria records 3,604 cholera deaths in 425 local governments. Lagos robbers shoot businesswoman, hospital demands police report, victim dies. Wife disagrees as husband testifies how spouse killed friend, dismembered body. Me dodges questions as 2023 presidential bid says prayer ongoing. It's historical fallacy to say Ohaneze hasn't campaigned enough to a 2023, says Obiozo. Fuel scarcity, armed policemen deployed to control queues, commuters stranded. 42-day vacancy, Makinde names Lake Kombalogun for the second Olubadan. And FG gross debt to grow by 92%, hits 1.136 trillion in 2026, says IMF.
So the UN has yabbed us, like, this one is not, they say the United Nations carpets Nigeria because of our, the level of unpreparedness towards cholera. We lost 3,604 people last year, and it is extremely avoidable. Said that when COVID happened, everybody rushed with eagerness, political eagerness to deal with COVID, but they are not seeing equal political eagerness to address the issues of cholera. That the ministry, the number of cholera reported in 2021 was 111,000 with over 3,600 deaths, and it's just really sad that we're having to be receiving this kind of backlash from the UN when it is an issue that we can, it's an hygiene issue, it's a preparation issue, it's a health sector issue, and we can do much more to prevent having these huge figures again in 2022.
Let's talk about fuel scarcity for a minute. armed policemen were deployed to control queues, especially in Abuja. They were having issues. According to them, petrol that was selling for 400 naira per litre increased to 500 naira per litre yesterday, especially. And they were saying that many marketers were still complaining that they have the adulterated fuel still within their tankers. So they're asking the government, what can you do to help us either get rid of these things or even stop it from coming in? So they're having an issue right now with those who have already had the contaminated fuel and how to dispose of it. And that's a major problem.
Who is taking the responsibility of the disposal?
So I have the human interest story. On the 30th of January, a woman, Udwak Oluyede, was shot dead by robbers. She was just closing up shop in her area in Aguda, in Surulere area, and then 3 men on a bike stopped in front of her and took her, dispossessed her of all her valuables. And when they were leaving, they shot her in her stomach. She was able to run to her neighbor, who got her in a car, and they rushed her to the nearest, like a hospital, where they were able to stop the bleeding. But they told them that they had to transfer her take her to a bigger hospital because they could not do anything more for her. So they took her to Randall Hospital. And Randall Hospital insisted that they come with a police report. So while they left her there, she said she now rushed to the police station in the area to get the police. That in fact, the policeman followed her and was writing the report in the car. But by the time they got there, even though they saw that they had placed her on oxygen and drip, she had passed on.
Oh my God.
That they were just insisting on the police report and that the husband should sign. The husband is really, of course, as we know, quite despondent. He says he has 2 children. He had to go back home to tell them that their mother is no more because the hospital was insisting on signing a police report. And he says that since the incident happened, he hasn't heard anything from the police. He wants justice. He needs to know there hasn't been any trace of the people that did this to her, and that incident that happened was the second one in that area on that day.
I thought they had made a law.
They had expunged it.
So what's happening?
Randall of all hospitals.
Yes. This is
Randall of all. Randall is not just
any hospital.
No, they can be sued for this. So.
This is really
break.
Okay.
When we come back, continue our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In Nigeria, not.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the coronation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still in Punch.
Yes, I have another human interest story. So a couple was arrested by men of the Ogun State Police Command with fresh human parts. Wow. And they narrated how the lady killed a friend and sold the head for 70,000 naira. So while they were narrating the story, the woman said that the man, they disagreed. So the man reported that the wife brought a friend home on Tuesday and brought that friend home again on Thursday. And by the time the friend came, she had made noodles and egg for her. After eating, by evening, the lady was still around. So he had to ask the wife, is she not going home? He said no, that she's a bit weak. She needed to lie down a bit before going home. And so he went to the backyard. Before he came out, the wife had killed this woman, severed her head, and put it in a bucket. And then called him in. And he was like, what happened? He said that the friend used to be a very bad person, that she has not forgiven her for what she did to her a long time ago. And so she decided to pay back. And then they started discussing how do they sell the head. The man contacted a friend, I think one Mr. Michael, to come and buy this head for 70,000 naira. So while the man was there, the woman said, no, you are lying. No, this is not what happened. I did not have any hand in this. The man said, policeman, can you see me? I'm very weak. I cannot kill a human being. So they were going back and forth. But they forgot the fact that it was him who contacted the friend to sell this human head. It's just they are still in police custody, and I think more investigations will be done. So do we not go to friends' houses again and eat noodles and egg? I don't get human beings. Yes.
You can talk about chicken.
For 70,000 naira.
Every day. Now we talk about human bodies, human parts every day. It has now become business. It has become a daily conversation.
And we can tie it to some of our economic challenges.
No, but the federal government is...
wickedness.
IMF is saying that federal government debt is going to rise to 92%. I'm wondering what will be left. That by 2026, our debt profile will be at 92%. That means everything will now be debt. That it's going to hit 136 trillion naira. And that is not just our borrowing. We have AMCON debts. You know, AMCON debts are local debts, the ones that our people mismanaged and that government has absorbed. That's AMCON debts. Then we also have the debts, the overdraft that the government is collecting from CBN, in addition to the foreign loans. And all of this has been progressing steadily over the years and is estimated that by 2026, it would hit 92%. Now, I know our government will deny it. They say, no, where did they get the numbers from? What's it? What they are just projecting. You can undo it. It is projection, feedback, take it and let us start working on a way to ensure that we reduce our debts.
But I guess another way to look at it is that, okay, so every month you're earning 10,000 naira. So all out of the 10,000 naira, 90,000 naira
goes to repay.
So you don't have really anything else to. It's just, and it's just
inflation, cost of living. Now you'll be broke then.
But at least the 10,000 naira is still coming. Abi?
Yeah. So we hope that by then they'll be getting more than 10,000 naira.
So we have something to.
Really, so in fact, I'm just tired. APC chair race narrows to Almakura, Adamu, and Musa. More trouble for Super Cup Abba Kyari. Makinde confirms Balogun as Olubadan. Again, court orders EFCC to stop further actions against Okorocha. PDP to Buhari sign electoral bill amendment into law now. 49% WAEC candidates obtain 5 credits, including maths and English. Over 8,000 child soldiers recruited by armed groups in Northeast, says UNICEF. And 2023 PDP APC presidential tickets will determine Igbo destiny, says Ohaneze. Let me start with the major headlines. So, the National Convention of the APC draws near and is looking like the Governor Buni may not be the new chairman of the NWC actually. So according to them, it's narrowed down to 3 people. That's the former governor of current senator. Let me see the names here. I have the Alhaji Umaru Tanko Amakura, the former governor of Nasarawa State. Exactly, I was trying to get that. And then there's another Abdullahi Adamu, ex-governor of Nasarawa State, and Alhaji Sani Musa, who is a senator representing Niger State. Now, these are the few contenders that might become the chairman of the APC after the convention coming up in February. Now, this means a lot. I mean, we try really hard not to take all these political stories. The reason I'm taking it was because they've been back and forth. Remember last year, the governor of Buni was a temporary chairman that was appointed last year. I think it was June or July. Yeah, June 2020 actually was appointed. The Yobe State governor was the acting national chairman pending the convention which is about to happen. And now it's looking like he might not be able to, he might not get it, and whoever becomes the chairman determines critically who's going to become the ticket holder for the presidential ticket. So that's a major deal for APC, and they're working towards to see who the next chairman will be.
Okay. On the other hand, it's saying that wherever Nigeria picks their presidents from in 2023 would determine the destiny of Igbo people in the country. They said the group has been lobbying all the political parties. They've been lobbying the PDP, the APC, so that at least they can field an Igbo person for the presidential ticket. They also said that, it's been heard in some quarters that they are not fighting enough for this presidency, but they said they've been fighting since 1960. You cannot accuse people who are always making noise about marginalization of not coming out to fight. They've been fighting, and this is an opportunity for them to get this. This will show that the Igbo people are capable, they are patriotic, they have credible personalities, they are eminently qualified to govern the issues in the country. And when they do that, we'll see that there will be fairness, there will be justice, there will be equity, and they will know that they actually belong in the country. So they are appealing to political parties and every other person who has an interest in Nigeria to ensure that they get their turn to, govern the nation.
Vanguard break. Okay, go ahead.
One. So UNICEF on the day, they call it International Day Against the Use of Child Soldiers. It's also called Red Hand Day. And UNICEF is asking and calling for the end of recruitment and use of children by armed groups in Nigeria. They said for about 13 years in the Northeast and the conflict and insurgency that has been happening there, about 8,000 children have been recruited. And in those 13 years, thousands of lives have been lost, livelihoods disrupted, access to essential services by adults as well as children have been disrupted. They're asking Nigeria to sign the handover protocol for children encountered in the course of armed conflict in Nigeria. So this handover protocol is to say that when children have been arrested for being part of an insurgency group, they should not be locked up. Instead, they should be taken to civilian home and then find ways to rehabilitate them and bring them back into society, giving them the proper support. Children are not meant to be locked up because they didn't choose this life. This was, their lives, their real lives were snatched away from them by these insurgents.
And there's also an act in addition to that. There's Convention on the Rights of the Child on the Involvement of Children in Armed Conflict, which says that you cannot conscript any child that is not up to 18 years of age. But I am worried about the implementation. They are appealing to the governments. Which of the governments is going to implement, rescuing these children and rehabilitating them? Is it the government that's still struggling to even stop the insurgency in the first place? So they should come up with ways that they can also assist in rescuing these children.
Okay, we have to wrap up. Vanguard has most of the stories already taken, but finding a story that we haven't taken, I think most of the stories that we've taken it.
Congratulations to the Olubadan and the people of Ibadan, because yesterday they got the letter from the governor that confirms that the new Olubadan will be Senator Lekon Balogun, and everybody started celebrating. We're waiting for the date of the coronation. The governor had indicated that he would be sending an official letter yesterday when he was at the burial of the former Olubadan last week. So I'm sure this is good news for all the people of Ibadan. Also, the law that was passed previously elevating some people, that has been set aside. So I'm happy that peacefully there will be handover to the next person.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we want our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known, for when the wailing
Thanks for staying with us. So the biggest story in Nigeria this morning, obviously, it's suspended former head of the Nigerian Police's Intelligence Response Team. Let me say that again. The former head of the Nigerian Police Intelligence Response Team. So they gather intelligence for us. Now, his name is DCP Abba Kyari. He was arrested by the police. According to reports, he was arrested hours after the NDLEA, that's the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, declared him wanted over alleged drug links. And we got a press release from the NDLEA that he was brought over at 5 p.m. To the office yesterday. And right now he's been interrogated alongside 4 others. Now, as I said, it's the biggest story in Nigeria today, and everyone is talking about all the various angles of the case they have against him, what they're possibly trying to find out. But from on our show this morning, our conversation is more about who do we trust if in such an important body like the Nigerian police, which is and he was the former person in charge of intelligence gathering, the intelligence response team. And he was a highly decorated person. I mean, they called him Super Cop. He's someone that, so what are the factors that make somebody a Super Cop? What are the various indices that are used as a body like the police to determine who is a Super Cop? And this culture of connection, the culture of I know this person, he's my guy, I know him, my guy, and how people just use that to raise to the ranks. You think about how do we therefore go ahead, move forward to trust each other if somebody so high at this level could be engaging in drugs. I know NDLEA, we keep saying it. They've been busting and busting. And we said there's a higher level. They are busting these little guys, but they know that there's a higher level. There's those international links. There's a cartel. So I'm so happy. First of all, we must applaud NDLEA for the work they're doing so far. And I'm so happy that they're doing it without fear of anyone. But at the same time, our Super Cop has been arrested. Now, he's still innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. Because Nigeria, again, you don't want a media trial where we see all the cases on social media, and tomorrow now he's free. So let's also get too excited. Let's be sure, hope that NDLEA has the airtight case. But in your thoughts, What came across to you when you saw this news, and how did it make you feel as a Nigerian?
You asked the question, Mariah, who do we trust? My summation is trust no one. Take everything you see and hear with a pinch of salt or a bucket of water, if you like. Because it's become increasingly obvious that there is more than meets the eye. When you see people you're supposed to hold in high regard, respect, people who you see that they are, here we always talk about people showing track record, putting in the work, consistency, just keep working, keep doing it. And now you see someone who we can say has been putting in the work, who has shown consistency, who has shown excellence. You now hear this sort of thing. It just sort of confuses a whole lot of human beings. My question would be, at what point did this change happen? At what point was he bought over? At what point did he allow greed? Because everything I see is simple greed. You're working, you have a good job. I don't know how much he was earning at the level that he is in. That's enough to have a reasonable family. Take kids to a good school, reasonable. Have access to quality healthcare, reasonable, like a normal human being. So at what point did you decide that this is no longer enough for me and I'm going to join team with these criminals and cut some things for myself? At what point? We don't know that. So how do we now begin to trust people at the helm of affairs to say that some people are actually clean if this sort of person can be caught doing this? And one thing I noticed, when Hush Puppy fingered him, I told myself, for Hush Puppy to have the guts to finger this sort of person, there's something in it. But Nigerians now, we found a way to do this and do that. And others are also saying that this is likely like a smoke screen. They don't want him to answer to the FBI. Probably that's why they are now coming out to arrest him now. That they must have gotten this.
This is a huge smoke.
Yes, just to cover.
This smoke is too huge.
Yeah.
This is so smoky. If it smells like a rat, it's shaped like a rat, and rats hang around it conveniently, then it's likely rat is in the DNA. I started getting worried about our Super Cup with the level of proximity he had with people that I should be suspecting, and with the level of wealth he displayed for his position. I started suspecting him from that point. You have this kind of cars, you're hanging out with people that you should be investigating, people are listing your name. It is looking too much like a rat for there not to be rats in the DNA. So this for me, this just fits. When the story of Hush Puppy came out, people were still in doubt. This fits. And the question of who to trust is the time of the Bible scripture of you don't sit in the seat of the scornful. You don't stand in the path of the sinners. Like there are things, if you want to live a right life, there are things you just don't do because you want to live right. So now, by all standards, I don't doubt his rise to prominence was legitimate. I feel strongly like he rose to prominence with a legitimate hustle and strive to do the right thing. And then corruption will fight back. And you need to have the strength of character. I pray for it every day, that God give me the strength of character to say no to that very attractive thing, because nobody knows what they will do when they are faced with it.
Nobody knows their
so
price.
For me, I am grateful to the entire team of NDLEA. Because what makes a country stand out is not that everybody is perfect, is that we have one perfect person that would look anybody in the face and call out their BS, that you cannot get away with it. And I am grateful we have such person at the helms of affairs at the NDLEA who's been able to bring out this. There are many issues with the police, many. We can never forget the fact that a known kidnapping kingpin was released.
So today.
And we don't have justice till now. There is obviously a rot going on there.
Okay.
And I'm grateful that we're fishing it out one by one.
Let me get your thoughts on this. Because I know you've always pushed the NDLEAs to, you always talk about it almost every day.
Every day. But you said, when I heard the story, how did I respond? I screamed. I was like, what? I did not scream because he was arrested. I screamed because I thought, you mean the system is allowed to work in Nigeria? You mean we're allowed to print things like this and put up videos of high-level, appointees in our country. And I felt so proud. I felt so proud that NDLA did the work. I felt so proud also when I read today's paper and it said that the presidency insisted that this report must be properly investigated. So it says to me that, that we are willing to give Nigeria a chance, that there are some people at the helms of affairs that are willing to do the work to make sure that Nigerians can trust the system. Many times, the reason why Nigerians are always struggling and screaming and shouting, and when we see crime committed, we take our faces off, is because we feel, well, nothing is going to come out of it.
At the end of the day.
And today we have this story. I hope, honestly, that this will now be done and finished properly, because the smoke screen you're talking about, today's papers say that he will be sent to the United States.
Okay.
So that smoke screen is no longer a smoke screen. They will do that. And I hope that when he gets this investigation is done, every other person, because we know he couldn't have done this by himself, there has to be other people involved, that every other person that has been named will also be brought to book. I hope that all the lawyers that will be involved in prosecuting and, will do the right thing. I just don't want us to get to a point where there's no case.
Let's go on a break, because this issue of extradition, there's a law that was in Section 3, subsection 11, number 9 of the Nigerian extradition law has a certain clause that might not let him be extradited, but when we come back, we'll talk about that. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day, all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the coronation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it?
Ọkọ̀ tí wàá sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ mọ̀ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views after. You need a private meeting. Welcome back. Yeah. So, where are we? So,
People's
NDLA.
messages.
Let's take messages. Yes,
yes,
go ahead.
Bashiru Shoda, they said, kudos to NDLA
Wait,
under the guidance.
let me take Bernard. Sorry, he's been
Okay.
holding. Bernard, are you there? Hello, Bernard. Hello, Bernard, are you there? Go ahead, Tom.
So, Bashiru Shoda, they said, kudos to NDLA under the guidance of Brigadier General Buba Marwa on Abba Kyari's drug cartel. Yeah. Such corrupt law enforcement officers should be fully tried and face the full wrath of the law. Billy says it's a good ploy to stop his extradition to US. Most of us saw this movie coming all along. We are not moved. That's another smoke screen. People, we do conspiracy theory, but I know that it might seem, it will really look like this is true, like it's a smoke screen, but it's our lack of trust for the system that is responding to us seeing the system seemingly work for the first time in a long
So
while.
let me read the bill, but let me take Bernard and I'll come to you with the law that was quoted earlier. Okay. Good morning, are you there? Hello, Bernard? Hello, Bernard? Hello, Bernard. Thanks for calling. Wookie says you're online. Okay, so Section 3, subsection 11, number 9 of the Nigerian extradition law states, extradition application will be rejected. So the American extradition to us will be rejected. Okay. Where the fugitive criminal, that's Abba Kyari, has been charged with an offense under the Nigerian law. Okay. Other than the offense at which the surrender is sought. Okay. But has neither been discharged or acquitted. So while he's still facing this one, he can't go anywhere for now. But however, based on what we said, what Mariam said earlier, that should this, instead of us getting excited over the arrest, should we be more excited that a parastatal of the Nigerian government is actually working, seems to be working? Maybe if we have just this one-man soldier, if all we can do and achieve in this country is bring down all the drug cartels, maybe Nigeria can actually move forward.
Yeah, I don't believe in being excited that people that are paid to do their job, they are doing their job. Okay. I don't believe in that. Okay. I believe in encouraging them to do what they're supposed to do because of the rots that we've had in the system. It's like me clapping for you now that you're sitting down and hosting. That's your job, you're paid for it. So we just need to encourage them more and pray that the system does not find a way to choke them again from doing the work. But I am even curious about the fact that the US is calling this guy to answer. What's the role of the US in this? Why is the US playing this sort of police? What is their connection with not just the Hush Puppy case, but also Abba Kyari? This is a sovereign state. The crime, whatever, did not happen in the US. What role are they playing exactly? People are asking questions.
In the US. No, that was
he was arrested in, that's Hush Puppy was arrested in Dubai. Why isn't Dubai being the one to call him?
The crime was in the US. He committed a crime. He defrauded the US. So the US, in processing their entire investigation, found
a link between Abba Kyari
messages, and they're calling him to answer for
yes, that's what happened.
What he did there.
Okay, let me take Hassan. Hassan, are you there?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very sad moment in the annal of security network of our country, Nigeria. And please, we should ponder over three main issues here. The issue of the porous nature of our borders and the airports. Because most of these cocaine and the illicit drugs were caught right inside Nigeria. What happened to the policing of our borders? Number two, we should ponder over the issue of exhibit. You can see that people are selling dummies to us as an exhibit while they are taking cash with what recently happened. That's number two. And number three is this. We should see that corruption is really fighting back in Nigeria because this guy really started well. And we can see what he did.
So my question is, you see, I really want us to go back to who else is in this cartel.
Oh, people are saying this on our YouTube page. There are lots of comments. Tommy says, I bet it's just the errand boy and there are other bigger players.
Yes. And is the DG of NDLA ready to start naming names? Because, you know, we've been asking the sponsors of the Boko Haram. They've been naming this name for the past how many years?
Oladipo says, we should remember that this is in Nigeria. Investigation of high-profile cases like this don't usually lead to conviction. If it gets to court at all, let's just wait and see. And I'm worried because Evans hasn't been resolved. The kidnapped Wadume hasn't been resolved. We have many cases that it seems to be dragging for such a long time. And the CJN has said, don't blame the justice system alone. You don't have an airtight case. You will come today, it's 5 counts. Tomorrow, it's 15 counts. Amended to 8 counts. All of this doesn't look well. So there's a level of seriousness required on all parts. And I need to remind our president, because I remember when he was coming for this job, his number one was to fight corruption. If this is going to be what is going to be like his legacy, he has just a few more months to live, to be here. He can actually just make this an exit package for Nigeria that will feel like, oh, forget what he has done in the past. This is what he did.
Yes. So as much as I understand the cynicism and the lack of trust in our system, I want to concentrate on what has been done now and what we are talking about today. And I think that this is a victory. And we should see how this can be done so that a proper conviction is carried out at the end. I believe that this is the time to investigate the police force. Investigate colleagues and other officers. This is the time that the presidency, should do that as an emergency. Because for him to have been able to carry out what he did, I feel this has taken quite a long time, and there may be more people complicit in this action. So I will see government seriousness if from today I start hearing about people getting arrested in force, better officers replacing some officers because some other officers are under investigation. I mean, we've watched movies where we see this sort of thing happening. Immediately, people are falling on the wayside. More people are being called in to replace. Then we'll know that something is happening. If this is just a way to stop it from extradition, I don't even know how I would prefer to be labeled a drug pin instead of someone associated with someone that had, you know. So if this is it, it's just so elaborate and too much. But if it is not, if it is really serious, government should start investigating the whole police force.
Let me take this call because Lucky's been holding for a while. Lucky, are you there? Hello, Lucky, are you there? Okay, we lost the call. Let me take a final comment.
So we should also check associations. You know, when speculations come out that you're hanging out with this person, you're hanging out with this person, and this person has a questionable character, you should look at yourself. Why do I want to hang out with this person who has a questionable character? Except you're saying publicly that I am like this person, and it's okay for us. So pick a side. If you're a politician or you're a government official and you know corrupt people and you are hanging out with them, you are going to their parties, you're spending money and all of that, and you want to take their side, let us know that is where you are and it doesn't mean anything to you. Than to stand on the side of the law and also frolic with people, fraternize with people who are seen to be corrupt individuals. So also, I think we need to do more as a government, especially in this sort of case. We need to do more. There are conspiracy theories that even police officers exchange and give out guns to criminals. They keep collecting. We've had that over and over till today. Nobody's investigating it. So we need to do more to help us.
All right, so that's all we can take on this. As I said, we don't want to talk too much on it until we see the process. That's the most important. We've done this with Wadume, we've done this with Evans and Amy and others. So we really don't want to go into this roller coaster. We're hoping that NDLEA does have an airtight case against Abba Kyari and these 4 others. And once we have a conviction, we can now have a robust conversation and celebration over this. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we have another hot topic for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Ọdún wa sọ yẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day, all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria.
Thanks for staying with us. One of the most horrific stories we take on this show almost every day is about either ritual killings or kidnappings. There was one that came today about a man that kidnapped a 16-year-old boy, actually. He's not yet an adult. 16-year-old boy kidnapped his niece. Let me read out what he said, his confession. He said, yes, it is true that I kidnapped Halima, my cousin. I hid her in an uncompleted building on the outskirts of town and then put a phone through to her father. I told them I demanded 70,000 naira. I threatened that if they don't pay the money, they're going to lose her. And then I terminated the call. Unfortunately, my conscience pricked me that this path I have told is dangerous and against my religion. I'm very sorry for my action. I'm asking for forgiveness. I've realized my mistakes. Hey. Now, what happened, I think, was a woman was passing by, and she saw the picture because, of course, the parents raised an alarm about this child. And the woman was just walking by an uncompleted building. She now said, is that not the child that they're looking for? That's how she alerted the police. Now, this 16-year-old is a GSS 3 student of one of the schools in the locality. They're thinking that a teenager can kidnap a child. I mean, I can't, who do we trust?
I can't even imagine it.
Who do we now leave our children with? Or a teenager is asking for 70,000 naira. God knows what he wants to use the money.
For what?
So, phone or do Valentines or something like that. God. So we'll hear stories like this as long as children don't see the end result of bad behavior. You're talking of the 16-year-old. This morning, or was it late last night, my mom showed me a video of 3 or 4-year-old. They had kidnapped one of their siblings, a much smaller baby, and had tied him in the bushes. Tiny children, as in they could barely walk, they had done that. So we're talking about this thing. We're constantly saying it in their ears. They are hearing about it, but they need to understand that there is a consequence for this behavior. And many of them don't see that. We see people kidnapping, we hear they came into a village, they ransacked everywhere, they left with things. So all of a sudden, they're looking like heroes. Because it means I can just walk in, take what I need to take, kidnap a few people, and before you know it, I've made so much money. We're hearing how much billions have been going back and forth with this kidnapping thing. So I can do it then. I can do it as a business and I can get away with it. But once they find out that you don't get away with it, they catch you, they lock you up, then you would not do it.
Maria, this is becoming an epidemic. Like, this is becoming something that we need to start screaming about. It's not, there's something they say, if dance pass hand, enter elbow, you know, let's take this serious. Yeah. This has gone beyond what we are just saying and what we're just talking about, and what we feel is not around us, is not near our dwelling. The other day I was having a conversation with my children and I said, I'm going to take you people to Yaba Left. I want you to see what happens to people who end up taking drugs, how they live out their lives, they are hospitalized, they are not able to think properly. Some of them go crazy. And my son was so scared. He said, no, I don't want to see. I said, no, you need to see. Because it's time we start paying attention. You people are, you claim you're doing class, right? But I know that you people go on social media. I know that. So I'm not going to tell you not to. I have a teenager already in the house, so I'm not going to stay off this, stay off that, stay off that. But I want you to understand. Take responsibility for your actions. I will teach you to the best of my ability. This is right and this is wrong. It's still your choice at the end of the day, but I will show you the end of that choice. So that if you know that you want to go crazy in this regard, you may likely end up that way. So I think, like Miriam just said, children need to start seeing the consequences. And how do we start? This is a case example. Abba Kyari. If he goes away scot-free, without being punished, without people seeing the enormity of the punishment he's going to receive, that is it for us. So this case will be worse. A woman will now carry a friend home and kill the friend, and just move on and feel, is it not 70,000 naira? What do you need the 70,000 naira for? It may just be to buy clothes.
So just like the story you took earlier, a friend was invited over and they cut off her head and she was about that.
We become savages. Yes. So we become animals.
So like you have both rightly said, justice is what prevents us from becoming savages. It is when justice is served that we retain sanity as a society. However, for me, it's a case of, it's not a parent's job alone. And yes, the parents have a huge responsibility. As a society, we must all be looking out for one another. And that's what even rescued this situation, because somebody saw and said, you know, that if you see something, say something. Must become our culture, because if we don't take responsibility for everybody around us, then it might just be us that somebody else will have to be reporting, this is what happened to the person. And at this point, young and old, let's talk. Let's engage people. This little boy, whatever the reason he wanted to spend the 70K on, he must have thought about it. He would have stewed on it, planned it in his head. And there was no interaction with anybody to sow the right ideas into his mind. The social media space is sowing. There's a lot of seeds being sown on social media of how to make money, how you can cut soap, how you can wash yourself, how you can join a group, how you can become part of a team, a clique.
But when we talk about this today, but nothing is being done about it. We just talk about it like casually. You cut soap, you know, you go on social media and say, okay, how do I make money?
So my pastor said something years back. Advice is not a take it or leave it. Every advice is a seed. It's been sown. It's been sown into your spirit.
It's there.
So even if you choose not to use it now, the day you are desperate, you just remember,
they can cut soap somewhere.
This little girl that I'm seeing just running around like this, if I just put her inside the boys' quarter and make phone call, it's a seed. So what I'm saying is, as a society, we must not begin to sow the right seeds and let people know that kidnapping is everywhere. It's not good.
The other day,
that conversation must be happening everywhere.
So now let me bring it to this angle. We know several countries have tried to regulate social media.
Yes.
Because of these kinds of things. You know, countries where, I don't know about Saudi Arabia, but I know there's a country in the Middle East that was trying to control what their people consume.
What you can
if we try that here, Alhaji Lai Mohammed will try to do that and we'll shut him down. And we'll the same Nigerians will say, leave them alone, no, leave Twitter alone. The American company, leave them alone. But you see, we are not ripe. Let me finish. The people that we have, the Nigerians that we are, we don't seem to be completely ripe for that kind of freedom. We need some kind of regulation to ensure, to reduce. So freedom of speech is free, but it's not absolute. So there has to be some kind of curtailing of this freedom that we have to social media, because people, Babalawos, everybody's on social media saying, come and take.
Mariah, that's why I agree with the scriptures, because even the scriptures had commandments. You have to obey. Salvation is free, they say, but you have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. So there must be a form of regulation. Me, I agree with what I'm seeing right now. For the sanity of our children, I agree with the social media regulation. We are not ripe, like you say. We're not in that space where we can wholly take responsibility, because our systems are not working. So if we sort out our systems, they are working. You know that when you commit a crime, you are going to be punished severely for it, to deter a lot of people. Then you can now give freedom for people who are responsible enough. Freedom comes with responsibility, but a lot of freedom comes with responsibility.
But to not to put it only on social media, because these things are real life events that are happening with real life people in real life before it comes to social media. We have to, even when it comes on social media, we have to see on social media the end of things like that. We have to see those group of boys who were making the videos and telling you what to do, how to cut soap, how to kill someone, how to cut a head, how they were arrested on social media, and how they had to serve the punishment for their bad behavior. Because yes, I understand how dangerous social media can be, but it can also be a powerful tool. Throw it away. So it is good to regulate it in a way that, you know, we protect, especially our young viewers. But we also know that it is a reality of our times. It is here to stay, and we need to use an opportunity to change mindset.
I agree with you somewhat. Because I agree with you somewhat. Because I think social media has amplified what was before. So we agree. But there was ritual killing back in the day.
Yes.
We know all this bad vice happened back in the day. But because there was no social media, so we're saying that this amplification has gotten to the point where it's now damaging to even the most vulnerable of the society.
So I feel that, I think Mariam and I were discussing in the makeup room this morning about, or maybe it was on the show, the fact that statistically, research has been done on the psychological impact of social media, early exposure to social media on the minds of teenagers. I feel that we had the innocence of being sheltered. Like, our only influence was maybe a bit of TV and our environment. So our parents could curtail our exposure, the knowledge we are getting, because like I said, everything consumed is a seed and it will germinate. And when you are online, everything can come your way until you start pruning it down. So for children that don't even have the emotional intelligence or that ability to self-regulate, to trim it down, they are unable to do so. So we need to go back and ask ourselves, should we expose teenagers to social media so fast? Maybe they should become full adults when they go online.
Teenagers are never allowed on social media. The thing shows the age that we're allowing our children on social media, even though it shows that they are not old enough to be using it.
Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
You're old. My comment, this is a serious issue. I hope you can hear me.
Very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay. This is the issue. This Abba Kyari issue is a serious case. You can, tomorrow, if they catch an army officer, maybe a major, that is in charge of Boko Haram, sponsoring Boko Haram, how will Nigeria feel? This is more deeper. This is case. When Africa wanted Abba Kyari, some lawyers in the north, about 19, rose up to say, no, it's our man. Now, this is Bubamarwa should be given highest honor in Nigeria. That man deserves it. When he was a governor in Lagos, that is the only time I slept in the house when I come to Nigeria. Otherwise, I go to hotel because the security was so tight. No armed robber in Lagos there. Bubamarwa is a clerk, a general. He reports directly to the president. That's why he was able to succeed. If it has been under Attorney General, there is no way we will know about this. They will kill the thing, they will kill everything like that. It's a serious issue. The whole world is watching Nigeria. It's a serious issue.
Thank you very much, Ade.
Of those supporting terrorists in our country, you will see it.
Thank you very much, Ade. You know, interesting thing about Bubamarwa is that he's not going around media. You don't even hardly see him.
We had to force him. He was like writing letters.
And he said, look, I'll just focus on my work. I'm not ready for it. Let Baba Femi be talking. Me, I'm just doing my work. But let's go back to this matter. Yes,
let me quickly just conclude on what I was making earlier. Of course, like Mariam pointed out, teenagers shouldn't be allowed on social media. Most of it is 16 and 18 and above that should be there, but we're having teenagers there and we're allowing them. So we as parents take a responsibility for that. Number two is the fact that as a society, I've always said it, we need to have a goal for our country. What is our core goal as a country? So anything that would run contrary to that, we shut it down everywhere. Quickly. You see, it is the reactionary move, seeming reactionary move of the minister that made it look like if there was a plan. The goal for this country is that we want all children to be engineers. Anything that will be contrary to it, we are not going to allow it in social media or anywhere else. When China made a move that nobody will have children, it was a bit draconic, but they knew that if they didn't control their population, they will have major crime on their hands. And so everybody born one. If you born more than one, you are in trouble. So the country needs to set goals, because a society that is not regulated is a society in chaos. And we are seeing that chaos everywhere right now.
Okay, let me take Michael. Michael, are you there? Michael, listen to me, not the TV. Are you there?
He's still watching TV.
He's watching the TV. TV is delayed. Okay, we have some. Go ahead.
The eye is the window to the soul. Whatever you see, as often as you see it, becomes you at the end of the day. You think you can see it and decipher. It's sowing a seed, and it goes to a place of your subconscious, which will come up tomorrow. Now, I think we all need to work together if we really want this to work. One of the problems I see is that there's a lot of illiteracy. The people that are really illiterate are the ones who go ahead, hook, line, and sinker without asking questions. So they see on TV, the people like us are able to decipher that this is entertainment, this is just a movie, this is fiction, this is not real. But they see it and, whoa, it worked this way, let me try it and it will work. And that's what a lot of these young people are picking up in killing people and kidnapping their siblings and all that, because they feel, okay, it worked in the movie, we didn't see any consequences, I can do it and go away with it. But we know better. The people that know better are few. And so the responsibility is on us that know better to start talking to ourselves. I went to a party recently and I was not really happy with the way money was sprayed. I just started thinking to myself, what are we projecting as a society? Can we put money in envelopes and just pass it? I think we need to go back. No, hold on.
You're fed up.
Yes, I'm rethinking because we keep doing the, see, if you do something over and over and it's not giving you the results you want, why don't you change it? It's not working for us.
Please,
wait, I saw another video. Let me finish, Mariah. I saw another video in church.
I want to go back to the
and they were spraying money on the altar. Yes. And the man was cabashing and jumping up and down like, what have we turned into?
Anyhow, go and make the money.
No! See, Auntie,
yes, that's what
if we as a society need to go back to the values that we had, some things will have to change. Some things will have to change, and we all have to work together. So we're not saying don't make your money, we're not saying don't spend your money, but don't just put it in people's faces, because not everybody can decipher that you worked for your money. Not everybody can decipher that your money is yours. Not everybody would understand that you went through a process. Not everybody will understand that.
You cannot be telling the story to everybody.
Let me take this call from Adi. Adi, are you there?
I have a convert.
Thank you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I want to contribute my own view. And the thing is that, hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. The thing is that the people, I mean Nigerians, are right for social media. But our problem is that our government, those ruling us are not right for it. You see, take any Nigerian anywhere, okay, we will mash up with everybody. But these people, they lack, I mean, we don't have a first law guiding social media, okay? We don't use our laws like other nations do, okay? If we have Nigeria, if you have USA, America as Nigeria, they will commit the same crime we are committing now because nobody is holding them accountable.
Right, absolutely.
The system works there.
So you see, if you take somebody who commits a crime in Nigeria, or just let me take somebody who is uneducated, illiterate, who is very vulnerable to what social media is offering, carry that person to US, he will also be a criminal. He's going to do exactly the same thing because it's not so much about education is important, absolutely, but who you are.
I really don't think so because the justice system works faster then.
So he would enter this community. Trust me, the community where they read and work. He's not going to enter that community because he's used to getting things for free. He will easily enter the community of those who deal in drugs because that's what he's familiar with.
But what would happen there?
Well, if
they get caught, they spend their life in prison. If they get caught, you see the lacuna we have here where when you're very connected, you might escape justice. People, that lacuna doesn't exist there. So we need to strengthen the justice system here to reduce, and we have, like Nima shared a story yesterday of a man that spent 8 years in prison awaiting trial. And that's how innocent person spent 8 years in prison awaiting trial. Lawyers are jumping the case. We have the system that seems to make you feel bad when you're poor. We don't share the stories of our struggles.
Let me discuss that a bit with you, because even abroad, there's connection. Yes. At a higher level. Yes. Yeah. We at the bottom level, we have no idea of the connection because the system is what that regulates us. Yes. But at this Bill Gates level,
there's connection.
But yes,
the same way here.
Celebrity that affect results for the child.
There are some celebrities too that don't have, those celebrities don't have that connection.
Okay, let me say this.
Yes.
How I see it is that there's a system that works, and if that system catches you, it gives the system is allowed to catch you. Maybe for those who are not high level, a little they'll catch you, but the system is allowed to catch you. If it catches you, a celebrity, top person, red-handed, you cannot leave. But here, the system can catch you red-handed, fully covered in palm oil, and you can still go away scot-free. So that's the difference. And I agree with you, that when you take someone from our society and put them there, they walk through the systems. We hear a lot of people complain, oh, I have no place to stay. They have shelters. Oh, I have no job. They can go into an office to write down their names to say that they want jobs. There's a system that's sort of trying to encourage you. Most of their people who follow the way, either they are very lazy, they are drugs, or people who are pushed. You know what makes it sad for our own in Nigeria is that you find people who are intelligent, who are willing to work, falling into crime because there's no option. There's the group of people, but there's also the group of people that are just greedy and materialistic. But there's a group of people that I just wanted to do better. I just wanted to earn something. I just wanted to, and this was the option available for me.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take on this segment. I mean, as I said, it's sad that we are constantly discussing ritualism, kidnapping. It's really, really pathetic. I just hope there'll be a time we come on this same show and these things would have been something of the past. I really hope so. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen.
Thanks for staying with us. So there's a bill to amend the National Health Act of 2014. It's before the House of Reps. And if it is passed into law, officers who spend public funds on medical tourism will risk 7-year jail term. Joining us on the show is the sponsor of the bill, Honorable Sekjus Oju. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Hello, sir. Are you there? Honorable Guns, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, fantastic. Good. Now, so we took the story, I think, earlier in the week or something last week, where we were actually surprised that why would you want to indict one of your own? You know, because it seems like self-indicting somewhat, where public officers would have to face 7 years. And I think there was a fine of 500 million, I'm not sure what the figure is, of if they actually spend public funds for medical tourism. Why did you see the need to sponsor this bill?
Okay, well, we have to get it right someday in this country. I heard part of what you were discussing this morning in the studio there about banditry and all of that. So like I keep saying, in lawmaking, we should look beyond our zest. We should look at 200 years from here, if Jesus tarries. Which kind of law, what kind of country are we bequeathing to our children? So that you are in public office today does not mean tomorrow you will not be out there. So like one of the guys I called in talking about a crime committed here, if there are no laws in the US, people will commit the same crime. So it's just to have a society we can all live in, we can sleep with both eyes closed. Some of the decisions we have made in this country are responsible for why we are where we are today. People are talking about Boko Haram now, we have banditry, we're talking about ritualists everywhere. It didn't just start yesterday, as much as I would have loved to criticize the present government, but it didn't start today. It's been on for a while. So a situation where you have public servants go treat themselves overseas. Meanwhile, you are the ones that write the budget, you are the ones that pass the budget, you are the ones that are sent to it, you are the ones that execute it. Then when you have a headache or you have ear infection, you travel overseas to go treat yourself. If you're an executive, when you come back, everybody will come out to thank God for you. You do Thanksgiving. Come on, if you use that money, if you put that money in here, we'll have proper healthcare service. So what I'm just saying with this law is an existing law, but there are no sanctions. So what we are basically saying is, if you flout it, you should be punished. I know people have complained about maybe the penalty is too high, but it has to be like that. The former EFCC chairman, Olubadan, gave an example of somebody that moved out, a government that moved out close to $15 million under the guise of medical treatment abroad. So the penalty we're even talking about is less than $1 million. Less than $1 million. So I don't think it's too high, like most people have said it's too high, but I don't think so.
All right. So I'm so happy for this sort of bill, because we talk about this every day, and we have always said that if you can hold people responsible in such a way...
Can you speak up, please? I can't hear you.
Okay, if you can hold people responsible in such a way that they have no other option, they will make their things better in their own country. I am excited about that. Thank you so much for this bill. But we've also heard them say, like you said, you cannot travel with government funds. But we've heard them say that they have money from other places, they work, they do some other businesses. How do you now determine that the money is not government? How do you prove that the funds they are traveling with is government or not government funds? Did you get me, sir?
Yeah, I got a part of it. If you travel overseas with your personal money, nobody's going to hold you responsible for that.
How do you prove your personal money, sir? That's the question.
How do you prove personal money? Yeah, yes. Of course. Okay. Don't you know how much a civil servant earns?
Okay.
If you go overseas, you are a deputy director or an assistant director in a ministry, or you are even a governor or a deputy governor. Don't we know your salary? So how can you go overseas and your bill in the hospital is about $1 million or close to that? Not that we're not even talking about that. What obtains today is that they actually write it. They write and approve money from vouchers.
Okay.
To say this person is going for medical treatment, like the one the former EFCC chairman was referring to. There were documentation that that particular governor was going for medical treatment overseas, and the state government had to pay that bill. But if you are a governor, you claim that you are building state-of-the-art hospitals in your state. Why can't you use it? That you have to write voucher, there are memos approving money for you to go overseas for treatment.
Let me get a few more questions in for you,
So we can always know that
because of time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I would like to find out, how are your colleagues responding to this? What are they saying? What challenges or pitfalls have you encountered in pushing this bill?
Well, if you remember, we discussed this sometime last year. This bill went through second reading. You know, some of my colleagues challenged it then. Then, you know, we had to skip the public hearing. And then it was never scheduled for clause-by-clause consideration. That's the committee of the whole. And it died naturally in the 8th Assembly. Then I have resurrected it now. That is even coming back this late for second reading tells you that there's already trouble. But we will push for the public hearing by the grace of God next month. And I will need the cooperation of everybody to push this to go through. I will not say my colleagues are not cooperating, but of course you saw the hesitation on the floor that day.
We saw it.
Hardly anybody voted against it. So we have to work together. I mean, when I mean we, myself, you, the media, and everyone in this country to make sure that we get this, you know, to work for us. Because I will tell you this for free. When people are in government, they believe they're going to be in government forever. So they really do not bother too much about people out there. But even the 1% can take care of themselves. Allow something to go down for the 99%. Because we are not taking care of the 99%, because we are not bothered about the 99%, is why we are in the hole that we are in today. So we need to start thinking about the 99% and not the 1%. So whether you are in government or you are not in government, Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Interesting.
Good. So I'm happy with the clarification because this means that a governor can travel abroad on a medical trip as long as he's not raising the funds from the state coffers, he's free to go. And I know that the law is reaching down to civil service, all political office holders, including, does this extend to ministers, commissioners, like, how wide are you trying to capture? And what can we do, those that are watching now that are feeling like this is a good policy, what can they do to push this law into being passed? How can we pressure maybe our lawmakers? What would you like Nigerians to do to ensure this law gets passed?
Okay, there is already, this law already exists, is section 46 of the Health Act. Exists, but
just a sanction,
there is no sanction.
Yes.
So what we are just trying to do is, okay, there should be a penalty when you flout this. We should hit you, you should pay this amount of money, or you should go to jail for this number of years.
Okay.
So all you can do is, I have told you now, we will push for the public hearing by next month. So you can do a program around it. Then we also try and sensitize the civil society. All hands should be on deck to make this happen. Like I said before, when people are in government.
So how did you arrive at this fine? Because that's the real bone of contention. Yes, the bill was there, the law has been there, it's been there. But this sanction of 7 years, and you're saying that some people are 500 million naira. Someone say that I don't spend that much when I travel. Why would you fine me that much? So how did you arrive at 500 million naira?
They don't have to spend that much when they travel. If you take a toy gun and attempt to rob somebody, and the person is robbed and you are caught, you don't say it's a toy gun, because to that person, it's a gun. If the person has a weak heart, the person will die. And when you are caught, you know the sentence, you know? So that you have flouted the law is irrespective of how much you are going to spend. Irrespective of how much you are going to spend is a law. You have broken it. Because I know we are going to revisit this during the public hearing. They might reduce the fine and the jail term. But if we like, we can make it 20,000 naira. So anybody that wants to steal government money and travel every other weekend, and if you find the person, he pays 20,000 naira, it's up to us. I mean,
so
let me belongs to all of us.
Sir, Honorable, I want you to help Nigerians get clarity on how this thing works. So I am a senator right now. I'm a minister, and I'm not feeling very well. Now I know my salary is maybe $500,000 a month. Let's just say 500,000 naira I earn. So how do I get the government to pay for my medical bills? Do I apply?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Apply, I get a voucher. Now that voucher then pays internationally. Serious. Now that this voucher is illegal for me to ask for this voucher. That's
So
what
how
he's
does
saying.
it get approved in the first place?
That's what, the process is, how do I prove to you? How does that approval happen in the first place?
Yes. When it is illegal already.
When it's already illegal, if you have a law that says it's illegal, how does it get approved?
But they've not been following the law.
I want Honorable to explain to us how that kind of voucher gets approved. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Let me read section 46 of the Act to you. Without prejudice to the right of any Nigerian to seek medical checkup, investigation or treatment anywhere within and outside Nigeria, no public officer of the government of the Federation or any part thereof shall be sponsored for medical checkup, investigation or treatment abroad at public expense, except in exceptional cases on the recommendation and referral by the medical board, and which recommendation and referral shall be duly approved by the Minister or Commissioner of Health of the state, as the case may be. So you see there is a window, it's not completely closed. If the referral board can send this to the minister, in the case of the federal government, or the state government to the commissioner, and you can still get approval. But what is happening now is indiscriminate use of state funds. So there's already a law that says don't do this. But what we are saying is there has to be penalty for doing it. If the law says don't do it and you are flouting it, there has to be a penalty. Now the president travels out for treatment. We don't know that he went through all this.
Can we demand?
People should be able to ask questions in the future to say, did he go through all this? Did he refer this to the referral board and the Minister of Health and all? You know, in a constitutional democracy, we cannot afford not to do things the right way. Because when you are not abiding by the same laws that you are making, what are you telling these people we are calling bandits today? You know?
Okay, sir. I like this law, this bill that you have just passed. I really like it. But in my opinion, Nigerian politicians and lawmakers are very smart. You can still find a way to circumvent it. One of the things I would rather have proposed is to ensure that if you decide to serve the country, in the terms, the number of years that you are serving your country, you cannot travel outside for any medical attention. You will do it here because you are serving. When you are done with your year of service as a private individual, you can travel outside the country if you have the money, the capacity to do that. But while you are serving the nation, so that every resources that we have can be deployed into our health care. Imagine if all your children had to go to public schools. You will pay attention to the kind of buildings that they have in those schools. You will pay attention to the kind of teachers that they have because you have a personal interest. What we see is because there are no personal interests when it comes to the things that happen to the masses. We behave like we don't care. So it will yield more fruits for us as Nigerians to believe that our lawmakers patronize the same hospitals that we patronize. So you see the problems there. That would have been better for us, sir.
My dear sister, I owe you a hug. We are having public hearing next month. You can send in your submission. Hopefully, send in your submission.
I will, sir.
That's why it's public hearing.
Okay, sir.
Everybody is free to contribute. The second leg that you mentioned about the education, I already have a bill to that effect. They also failed in the last house. Under the same circumstances, there was no public hearing, and it was supposed to be slated for committee of the whole. It never happened. And that bill you see in the works now. So that we will take that one for second reading anytime. And I'm sure you will hear a whole lot about it. What I'm saying with regards to even this is when the point I have made to my colleagues, this bill gives you, I mean, the window is there for you to travel. If it's an extreme, it's a case that we cannot handle here. And this bill even allows you to travel with your own personal money. Because there are so many of us that were doing our own stuff before we came into government. But if you do not accept this, A government will come someday, a National Assembly will come someday that will say the minute you are serving in public office, you cannot travel out at all. That's part of what you are saying.
Yes,
and your kids must go to public school.
Yes, sir.
As it is today, you can use private hospitals in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Your kids can go to private schools.
Yes.
But if you do not accept this, if you do not hold this, if you do not accept this holistically, so a government will come. It might even be in 2023 that will say the minute you are serving in government, your children will go to public schools. And you and your children will go to public hospitals, general hospitals. I am in 100% support of that. So what we are saying today, accept this. You have the window to accept this now. If you throw it away, what is coming might not be palatable. But the way we are going in this country, I see that happening any day.
All right, sir. Honorable Oguns, there's a point I would like you to help me address concerning these sanctions. Because there are always, it usually takes two to tango, or even more than two sometimes. And in this kind of situation, it's just not the person who wants to go abroad, I think, should be sanctioned. The process, somebody approved it, even though they provided different evidences. Shouldn't there be some way of scrutiny of how and when or why this person needs this support, for financial support for medical tourism? So there's all that goes, but let me borrow a word from Tokwe, the lacuna in the system, that somebody can actually request and a proper investigation is done to ensure, to even verify if indeed what he's asking for is something that is totally terminal, and then the government can support. But there's somewhere, something happened that's causing this indiscriminate request, where we are constantly paying officers to travel abroad for medical tourism. So should that sanction also cover that chain?
Yes.
Do you think?
The Accountant General's offices.
Well, as a nation, we can only take this things one step at a time. I give you an example. Some years ago, where there was an audit in the company I used to work for, and they told me we used to get the drivers to write the fuel they take from the station, write the number of the vehicle, the amount spent, and the station itself. The auditor told me, no, get them to take receipts. I said, well, it doesn't matter. When they collect receipts, they can always manipulate it, between them and the people issuing it. And the auditor said to me, it doesn't matter. Just tell them to bring the receipt. We can use the receipt someday to verify, one. Or secondly, if they give them a plain receipt and they write it, a day might come, they will not be willing to bribe, and that person will not be willing to give them the receipt. So this is the point I am making. There's a referral board, and then there's a minister or a commissioner in the case of a state. If all these people can connive and indiscriminately begin to approve these things, a day will come that will be an audit. And there are already civil service laws to jail those people. So we are a nation and we are evolving. So let's take it one step at a time. Let's stop these people. Let's punish those that will go and spend government money without approval. And like I said, my sister mentioned there, we might even have to amend this going forward to say if you serve in government, you must use government facilities. You and your kids, be it school, be it hospital.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable. It was a pleasure having you on the show to clarify the sanctions that have been attached to this law. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. So, ladies.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I agree somewhat, but at the same time, somebody who's grown a business all his life, you've been a businessman, and they'll tell you like a Donald Trump, I built empires, and I want to serve my country. So I'll now say, because I want to now serve as you're a real estate mogul, and you've made all this money, and I say, I want to become the governor of your state. And now the last thing, you shouldn't travel abroad for your children.
No. So the question, you see, what Honorable said just is proposal. When you want somebody to cut I want you to cut your hand, I will not tell you to cut the two hands, so that because you need one hand to cut the second hand. So now what he's trying to do is, let's make a law that is passable. Because if we do that kind of one, nobody would even assent to it on the floor.
No, I agree. I'm talking about BC's proposal.
This proposal will not even, they will not even, it sounds good. All of us can vouch for what BC just said. We've said it over and over again. It will be ideal, but it won't get anywhere. Why? What he's proposing now is we might be able to push for it to get somewhere.
I'm not disputing that.
There's a question I've always had that I feel that he hinted at it, but I've asked this question several times, right from the moment the president went on that first medical trip. Who is funding President Muhammadu Buhari's medical trip? Is it Nigeria's funds that is funding the trip? How much is the cost of the trip? I don't think it is too much for Nigerians to know how much the president has spent so far on medical trips abroad. I don't think it is too much.
I think Sarah passed that information. There was some investigation on this.
So that's on one hand. On the other hand is, like you said, there is a law already on ground, but the law needs to be, there might not be penalty, but you don't have a right to sign something that is already illegal. So the people that approved the funds for a governor, for a minister, for a commissioner to travel on the bill of the states can be penalized for it if they are taken to court by civil society.
So I also completely agree with Obiajulu, because every day here we talk about localizing our democracy, localizing our solutions. We have a problem at hand right now. It may seem unfair, and I think it can be unfair that someone who has worked so hard for their money, because they want to serve their country, we stop them from traveling abroad or, accessing whatever it is that their money can afford them to access. But we have a problem, a peculiar problem, where funds that could have otherwise gone into the establishment of infrastructure, training of personnel, is being used to fund trips abroad. It does not make sense. And because we have found ourselves in this very unique, peculiar situation, we need to look for the local solution for it. And it has to be that those who can afford to get access to our funds to travel are not given that access anymore. And if they understand how serious Nigeria is, they will reconsider. So for me, it will even make the caliber of people who want to run for office to be those who truly want to serve Nigeria, and not those who want to just get access for their own personal interests.
Thank you so much, Miriam. What is the meaning of service? We are thinking of getting leaders who understand the problems we have. We are thinking of getting leaders who are ready to lay down their lives. A leader is a servant. We don't just want to call it a servant leader, but a leader is a servant. And that means that you put the interests of others before your own. So we're not saying you should not have access to all the money you have made. You are serving for 8 years. Only that 8 years, use public facilities. You are serving for 4 years, use public facilities. When you are done with your service, we tell you, thank you so much, God bless you, goodbye. You can now go back to the wealth that you have made for yourself. I can afford to go abroad for medical treatment right now. But if I want to go into service, I will use Nigerian facilities. Do you know why? So that I can understand when they say there is no paracetamol in that hospital, so that I can get it. So we want people who are ready to serve, not people who are going to put their interests first and think of how they can make money out of the system. And this is one way that we can scrutinize them.
Listen, what you're saying on face value makes sense, but the truth is, reality sets in. You have a 5-year-old that needs a medical emergency. Your child has a medical emergency. And because I'm a public servant.
They don't serve now.
No. I didn't know my child would get sick. Wait. Did you resign? Of course you can resign.
No, resign.
You resign.
We must make those sacrifices. We must make those sacrifices.
We have to finish it.
You must make it, Jerry. I just
wait, the reason why I try to argue that is because I know that the way we see things outside from the private is totally different. Once you enter the system, it's a totally different ballgame.
That is what we are. That if I want to serve and we enter there and I will suspend traveling abroad till I finish. Or else I will not go.
Okay, let me say, I have 2 more minutes. Let me paint another scenario.
Okay.
So you're trying really hard to change the system because there's a problem in the system. There's a problem. That only you have them. You're like a Booba Maro now. Okay. You want to fix the problem. You are the only man that can fix this problem, and you're working hard. Suddenly, your child falls extremely sick, and they said the only surgery that you can do is abroad. And the person, that as a Booba Maro, I'm the one that's pulling down the biggest cartels in this country. If I leave this job, these guys are going to now go. They're all going to take over the Nigerian drug market. And if I resign. That's the reality of the job. That is the reality of this shop.
Okay, so as a country, I agree with them.
So you are right. But I'm saying that it's not easy, as you're saying.
Yes, I agree with them. Like I really agree with what they're saying. I'm just of the opinion that your scenario I just painted, a country will not grow without sacrifice. There's sacrifice. They say sacrifice. Democracy is forged on the blood. It's blood, though. People actually spilled blood for the freedom that they have in many countries. The black people have freedom in America simply because they spilled People were willing to stop their jobs.
We have to run, yeah.
The refusal, the stoppage of traveling abroad is so that you can put the money.
Facilities here.
So, Ebubamara, by the time everybody has made that sacrifice, will have
good
facilities to treat his child here in Nigeria. That's
it. That's futuristic.
It's immediate. It's immediate. When there's money available, facilities.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Please. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.